Women Up Radio, designed to facilitate women's empowerment, improve your career, develop your talents, incorporate your passions, achieve fulfillment and success.
Hello, this is Anna Letitia Cook of Women Up Radio speaking to the girls on the road about their quest to support women entrepreneurs around the world. Fernanda and Taciana are visiting 24 countries, interviewing women and researching the conditions, business ecosystems, challenges and advantages that exist in each country. Today we're visiting Malaysia. I've never been there, but it sounds a fascinating place. Anyway, hi Fernanda and Tassi, how are you today?
We are good. How about you, Anna?
Very well, thank you. So tell me, Malaysia, what's the general vision of business, women in business and women entrepreneurs in Malaysia?
Well, Malaysia, we spent like a week or so there. We really had a hard time finding women to talk to. We did speak to some. They have like a population that is basically majority Muslim, but also of a vibrant international community. We were able to talk to women, and they say still like they have opportunities. They see that the government also is trying to increase business in them, but it's not as fertile as other countries that we have visited.
No.
So just to have an idea, we went to a former British club that there's to this day they have a bar inside that is with a plaque saying "No women allowed."
No women or children.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
And it's not a joke. It's to this day it's still like this. So you can have an idea how much space they have.
Well, we didn't feel, as Fernanda was saying, we didn't feel the environment was that vibrant. I mean, we were interested because Malaysia would be the first majority Muslim country that would visit. Yes. And it's a fairly open Muslim country. And we were able to feel that. Yeah. So that was a very positive aspect, of course. But in terms of business, I mean, it's not such a big country. It doesn't have that major importance in the region, of course. But still, they have, lots of things going on, but not so much in terms of entrepreneurship. So, for example, the most interesting entrepreneur that we were able to interview while we were there, she's not a Malay. She's an American.
Oh, really?
Doing a very interesting, work, and we'll tell you more about it. But as Fernanda mentioned, you have a lot of expats in Malaysia. We were in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. So it kind of reflects, and it doesn't seem that in entrepreneurship it's really in their daily lives as one would expect.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. That is surprising because I thought that it was really buzzing and everyone was starting up businesses, and I thought it was good for entrepreneurship. And also, I didn't realize it was predominantly Muslim. I thought there was quite a lot of Buddhist and Christian as well. So I have completely the wrong idea of Malaysia, right?
And I think Malaysia is also it's key, like it's like kind of a hub in Asia for to go to places like the international, the airport, and I think a lot of corporations have offices there, and lots of expatriates. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, and especially women entrepreneurship, it's not, at least from what we could see the days we were there, it wasn't that vibrant.
Yes, and they are trying to change that. We could feel from a couple of women that we talked to, they're really trying to instill a different attitude, not only towards entrepreneurship, but as women empowerment as a whole. Yeah. So there's something going on. That's some sort of movement, but it's not widespread.
Okay. So in that case, what does it actually mean to be a woman entrepreneur in Malaysia?
It means that you have to, go against lots of social barriers. They have like the majority population are either from Muslim background or Chinese background. Yeah. So probably in the Chinese background, you find lots of more women in business because it's more like considered normal. Yes. in, of course, with the Muslim community, they have more restriction based on culture or maybe like the way they are integrating the community. So we did interview one entrepreneur that she's Malay. She has been, her entire career in a very successful career path. Once she reached about like 50 something, she decided that it was time for her to move on and open her own company. It's still in the same business, but with like a social connotation. So she did build a company, but instead of having all the profits, go to shareholders and people who work in the company, they paid every single employee and they pay well, but then the profits are invested in some kind of initiatives that will be furthering some social enterprises. Yes.
Yeah. I think what was really interesting regarding this story is because how late, let's put that in perspective, of course. Late in terms, she had a very successful career in a multinational company. And then she decided, you know what? When most people, I would assume, would think, you know what? I'm going to stay home. I'm going to do something. I'm going to travel the world. Then she decided at 50 plus to start, her own business. So this is a great role model, I would say, because I think there are so many women that when they reach that age, unfortunately, they think they're kind of done. Like, I'm going to dedicate myself to other activities, but not be, as productive as they used to be, which is a mistake, which is a pity because you have still so much energy. And she certainly showed that to us.
Yeah. I agree, because as I'm one of the over 50s, I think we have far more to offer than any of you younger ones.
Yeah, that's true. You have experience, you have lots of connections and, different backgrounds.
Yeah. No, I know. I've been doing a series of interviews with women over 50 who want to change their career or who want to set up their own business or want to do something, because now they've got all the experience, they've done what they needed to do for a sort of traditional career, and they now want to branch out. So they've got very entrepreneurial ideas, even if they're not entrepreneurs at the moment. So it's interesting that you say that, because do you think it's the older women in general, or do you think she's just a special case?
Well, to tell you the truth, Anna, it's kind of a hard question to answer because you did not interview as many women entrepreneurs over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are out there. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, one might think that, as I mentioned before, they are not that much into trying something new at that stage in their lives, which again, is a pity.
Yeah.
So, of course, we had a chance to interview women in their 40s, mid 40s, that very young women, of course, and a few that are over 50, 51, 52. The oldest entrepreneur that we interviewed, she's 70 years old, which is amazing. Yes, she's an artist, but she has a very entrepreneurial, that was in Singapore.
Yes.
A very entrepreneurial attitude, and she's full of life. Yeah. And it was a great story, but again, she was the only one. Yeah. And I'm afraid there are not so many at their age, at this age right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. So coming back to business in Malaysia, what are the main factors in the business ecosystem here?
I think in Malaysia, they are, as other countries, the government also is trying to put in place initiatives to help entrepreneurship. There's an institution it's called like Magic. It's like a center for entrepreneurship and creativity and, like global innovation. And the idea behind is like not only impact local entrepreneur, but also try to attract other people from different cultures, different countries to also try to build like global solutions from Malaysia to the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we mentioned to you, like we see there's the Malay, there's the Chinese background, and then there's like expat So when we were interviewing, of course, like the Chinese and the expats were very open to talk about the business, talk about what they were doing. But the Malay, they were also, the women were open to talk to us like in private.
Yes.
But once we, turn on the camera, that was like kind of like different. They felt, I don't know if it's a shy or worry about what they're going to say, what impacts that can have on them, on their families, on the community. So we were able to grasp a little bit, but it's not like we didn't have the same opportunity as in other countries to go deep in the conversation.
Yeah. Shame, because you need people really opening up to get a better feel for it and to help progress. But anyway, so are there any particular challenges or advantages for the women there?
Well, challenges, I would say they are the same. And, it's important to mention one entrepreneur that we interviewed that I mentioned that she's American and she's been living in Malaysia for over a decade. And she started a very interesting business. I mean, she works with local culture in terms of, the art crafts and fabrics, special fabrics, using the local culture, the way they used to make fabrics.
Yeah.
And she uses these artisans, from cities near Kuala Lumpur. But I think the most important part of her enterprise that she works with Muslim women, trying to empower them economically. So so they are all sewers. They get the fabric, and Blair, she's the entrepreneur. She designed the collection, and these women, they put it together. They make it happen, and of course they earn money. They feel good. They feel empowered, and we had the chance to go to their atelier
workshop. Yes.
And it was really, they welcome us. They were really shy at first. They don't speak English, but they are so, willing to share and to show us their work. And they really say, it's important to have this work because I can take care of my family. I can, of course, follow my religious obligations, but I feel productive. I feel that I'm earning, and I'm helping at home in more ways than at first I was supposed to. So this is really important. That was really an empowering and inspiring experience. And Blair is doing a great work there.
Oh, that's excellent. That sounds very positive.
Yeah.
And okay, I know it's always a difficult question. The soft skills and the hard skills that these entrepreneurs have in common, are they similar to the rest of the world, or are they different? Have they had to develop something different?
I think in terms of soft skills, they really have to develop this sense of how to be able to go after whatever they wanted to build, but they know that they have more pressures than the average democratic society.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we're talking about the Muslim community.
Yeah.
Just like they instead of complain with whatever situation they face right now, it's just like, let's see and make whatever we can do it. But and it's very hard for us to really talk about soft skills, hard skill in Malaysia, because we didn't have really the opportunity to go deep in, so also like to talk to so many people.
Yeah. But I think one thing might stand out, although it was a short experience, but they seem very open, and that might be because, as we mentioned, the country receives so many expats.
Yes.
So they are open. They are open to listen and to participate. At least that was the impression that we got from the interactions that we had, and that might explain like why initiatives like Blair is doing with these Muslim women are working so well.
Yes,
because they could be live in an insulated way, not having the will to interact with people from other cultures, other countries. So I think this is a very powerful soft skill to be open to the different, to other cultures. So that goes in their favor. Huge.
Excellent. Okay. And is there any one key motivational difference that is helpful to other women entrepreneurs, or just not enough really to be able to say?
I think what we could see from women, they are very into social good.
Yes.
Like building business in a way that also have other women, other initiatives to also benefit from their endeavors. Not only like the Julia Chong that we talked to, and Amy Blair, and also journalists that we interview, they say that in some way women are also trying to help other women to be more independent or be more open about the way they live.